like here for smaller AI startups that are just getting started? What are some cost-efficient strategies for GPUs? But there's also, this is the audience question. This is similar to one that was written in ahead of time. What are some smart strategies to prototype, train, test models efficiently without falling behind in performance or innovation? Like, basically, if I'm an AI startup and I'm just beginning, how do I get started in a way that's not going to absolutely crush me financially? What advice do y'all have?
Use pre-trained models.
Use pre-trained models. Say more, Kunal.
End of webinar.
Yeah. You can fine-tune open models like Llama, Mistral, and all these other variants. I think there are also some CPU efficient frameworks that you can use, like distill models. But what I would really recommend is using Civo, because you can get GPUs at a much more affordable rate as compared to other providers. I mean, depending on what your scale is. When you mean early stage AI startups, like we did a survey, and we'll link that later in the description below. But I think you maybe use pre-trained models, some CPU efficient frameworks, or just leverage providers like Civo that offer a much more transparent pricing and much more affordable pricing as compared to other providers. Plus, GPUs also have like various versions. Like there's the L40S, A100s, B200s, or whatever. Obviously, the latest ones are going to be more expensive. So maybe you work with a prototype on subsets or like smaller data sets to keep it lightweight on smaller, like the old version of GPUs or whatever, and then you work your way up. Ben?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, in terms of like the whole narrative of I want to get as productive with AI as possible, well, what we see a lot anyway when we're talking to customers is, I know that I need to be productive with AI for business success, right? And I want as much of my workforce to be productive with AI as possible. So I guess you've really got to assess, what do you want more? Is it a turnkey solution that's as easy as possible to get hands-on and productive with quickly? And I think we see that quite a lot in any business where people don't have any AI initiatives and just want an endpoint to be as productive as possible with, right? And that's where I'd recommend usually Relax AI, right? Where you have one-to-one compatibility with the OpenAI API. So like Kunal said, you just plug in your API key in your base URL and code away with the API. Really not that much overhead to migrate, but also have a web UI where you can put your company's data into it. The data is only retained in UK data warehouses, and it's fully secure and subject only to UK sovereign law, right? So as a startup, do I want to be as productive with AI as possible and be kind of like stress-free around data sovereignty, data privacy, and where my data is and who accesses my data? That's when I definitely recommend Relax and encourage you to go and kind of investigate yourselves. I guess if you are very much interested in using GPUs and kind of like how I can limit that computation usage and how many GPUs I use and how I can kind of like manage them for, like we said, training, but also inference. Definitely, like Kunal said, look at open source models, look at these new quantizations that are coming out as well. As the GPUs become more and more sophisticated, they can handle more and more sophisticated quantizations. So quantizations is kind of reducing the precision of your model, so it kind of doesn't go through as many computationally expensive tensor multiplications when it's going through inference or training, right? So it's basically a strategy of using as little GPU as you can, really. So yeah, two aspects, like the turnkey solution, but also different strategies of utilizing the GPU in the best way.